Greetings, everyone. My name is Katrieva Munroe, and I will be presenting Kirkpatrick's four-level evaluation model to you today. Before we get started, we're going to address 7 of the outcomes for today's presentation. One is to introduce Donald Kirkpatrick, who's a developer of Kirkpatrick's four-level evaluation model. Discuss the performance of the evaluation model. Look at the conceptual framework of the four-level evaluation model in itself and see how the components interact. Discuss and explain why researchers support this model and list the strengths and limitations of the model. Discuss how the model is being applied in research and what the results of that application is. And then finally, we'll summarize the model. During our introduction, we'll look at Donald Kirkpatrick. We'll see that Donald Kirkpatrick was a professor emeritus of the University of Wisconsin. In 1954, he developed and rolled out his four-level evaluation model. And he is today considered one of the originators and one of the experts in training and development models. Kirkpatrick is one of the most commonly used models in the field of training and development. The four-level model itself consists of 4 levels. Reaction is 1, 2 is learning, 3 is behavior, and 4 is results. The reaction determines how to measure the survey itself. What method are you using? Typically, researchers use a qualitative method, so you would see this rolled out in the form of surveys, questionnaires, interviews, and ethnographies. Then you would look at learning, the learning level. How do the participants learn within the training model? You would address changes in knowledge, skills, and those attributes. And you can actually easily go ahead and code indicators and predictors of the trainings within this level as well. In the behavior level, you'll document any changes that you see from the conception of the training to the end results of the training. And then your final results section, which is level 4, you'll look at and align the training outcomes with the requirements within the organization. Now, your conceptual framework, you can actually see the diagram, the model itself for Kirkpatrick's four-level training model. And I will be presenting Kirkpatrick's four-level evaluation model to you today. Before we get started, we're going to address 7 of the outcomes for today's presentation. One is to introduce Donald Kirkpatrick, who's the developer of Kirkpatrick's four-level evaluation model, as opposed from the top down. Discuss the performance of the evaluation model. You'll see that look at the conceptual framework of the four-level evaluation model in itself and see how the components interact in level 1. So in level, discuss and explain why researchers support this model, impact of the training, and list the strengths and limitations of the model. Discuss how the model is being applied in research and what the results of that application is. And then finally, we'll summarize the model. Change their lives or during our introduction, we'll look at Donald Kirkpatrick. Level number 4. Donald Kirkpatrick was a professor emeritus of the University of Wisconsin within the training. In 1954, he developed and rolled out his four-level evaluation model. And finally, level 1 today is reaction. So that's going to be the last level, one of the experts in training and development model. And in this level, we will measure our participants' initial reaction to the training. Kirkpatrick is one of the most, what did they do? Did they gain an understanding? Did they comprehend models in the field of training and development? See the beginning the four-level model itself consists of 4 levels, and that was reaction is 1. And 2 is learning, 3 is behavior, and 4 is results. Kirkpatrick's four-level evaluation model. The reaction determines how to measure the survey itself. What method are you using? Typically, researchers use a qualitative method, so you will see this rolled out in the form of surveys, questionnaires, interviews, and ethnographies, organizations, and within training and development areas. the learning level. How do those three ways learn within the training model? Programs. You would address changes whether or not in knowledge, skills, a program and those should be continued or drop. And you can actually easily go ahead and code indicators of a training program within the organization level as well. The strengths and limitations in the behavior level, the model, you'll document any changes that you see from the conception of the training to the end results of the training, and then your final results section, which is level 4, you'll look at and align the training outcomes with requirements within the organization. So you can actually target your ROI, your return on investment framework. You can actually see the evaluation diagram, the model itself for Kirkpatricks 4-level across training disciplines and for many departments. The top layer is reaction, followed by learning, followed by behavior, followed by results. It allows for interventions. To effectively use this model, as you progress throughout the training module, strongly suggests that we view the model limitations from the bottom of the tool as opposed from the top down. Elaborate methodology itself, whether it be qualitative methodology, results quantitative methodology, or mixed methods methodology, which is level 4, is just too intimidating to trainers. 2 and level 1. The tool, the model itself, level 4, we have results time consuming and expensive you measure and analyze to implement within an organization. Level 3 is behavior. Now, researchers have documented the effectiveness and the training and use of the application within their organization. 6 studies changed their lives, reported the outcomes of communication-based training, and another 6 studies published reported the outcomes of challenging behavior training, information was effectively which was evaluated against the 4-level Kirkpatricks model. Actually learned the comparisons throughout 12 studies and align that to learning outcomes within the training. Appraisal of evidence. Finally, level 1 determined whether or not the training that's going to be the last level of the organizations and aligned to requirements. And in this level, the training in industry has been found to be very supportive and beneficial. Did they gain an understanding? Did they comprehend the training? Lastly, we're going to see the beginning and the end of the training, and to summarize, take the 4-level model itself. Remembering that our result this is an effective way to target the Kirkpatricks 4-level evaluation and analyze from the bottom of the training with results, behavior level, reaction, measures how much the training has influenced participants. Our learning our literature review has discussed many ways participants learn, and finally our training module has been used within organizations and in training and development areas. And here is a snapshot. Those 3 ways are to improve future programs. This concludes my presentation. It determines whether or not a program should be continued or dropped, and it justifies the existence of a training program within the organization. The strengths and limitations of the model are documented by Lopez. The strengths are that it provides a methodology for estimating the financial contributors to the program. Training success indicators are addressed so you can actually target your ROI, your return on investment. The evaluation approach itself scans across many disciplines and or many departments. And then finally, on the strengths of the tool, it allows for interventions as you progress throughout the training module. Limitations of the tool is that the elaborate methodology itself, whether it be qualitative methodology, a quantitative methodology, or mixed methods methodology, is just too intimidating to trainers, and the model itself is too time consuming and expensive to implement within an organization. Now, researchers have documented the effectiveness and the use of the application within their organization. 6 studies published reported the outcomes of communication-based training, and another 6 studies published recorded the outcomes of challenging behavior training, which was evaluated against the 4-level Kirkpatrick model. The comparisons throughout 12 studies prove that the techniques for appraisal of evidence determined whether or not the training met the needs of the organizations and aligned to requirements. Therefore, the training in industry has been found to be very supportive and beneficial within an organization. Lastly, we're going to just look at the summary and to summarize the 4-level model itself, remembering that our results, targets the change, targets and analyzes the impacts of the training. Our behavior level measures how much the training has influenced participants. Our learning level determines what participants learn. And finally, our reaction level targets the participants' reaction to the training. And here is a snapshot of my references. This concludes my presentation.